सदाशिव समारंभां
सदाशिव समारंभां
शंकराचार्य मध्यमाम्
शंकराचार्य मध्यमाम्
अस्मदाचार्य पर्यन्ताम् वंदे गुरु परंपराम्
वंदे गुरु परंपरा
पराम
वसुदेव सुतं देवं
वसुदेव सुतं देवं
कंसचाणूरमर्दनम्
कंसचाणूरमर्दनं
देवकी परमानन्दम्
देवकी परमानन्दं
कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्
कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरु।
गुरु
श्रेयो हि ज्ञानम् अभ्यासात्
श्रेयो हि ज्ञानम् अभ्यासात्
ज्ञानात् ध्यानं विशिष्यते
ज्ञानात् ध्यानं विशिष्यते
ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः
ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः
त्यागात् शान्ति अनन्तरम्
त्यागं
So now we have reached to almost end of second chapter, and as I was saying in the beginning, that reaching a second chapter in the whole Vedantic study or Adhyatmic study is a milestone. A lot of acharyas and gurus say that हमारे गुरुजी तो मेरे अपने गुरुजी they, he says कि we should read certain shlok from 11 to 30 every day, and I read every day. So that's it. And he says कि वो समझ में आ गया तो फिर लेकिन we have to, that's what we said, श्रेयो हि ज्ञानम अभ्यासात् ज्ञानात् ध्यानं विशिष्यते. पढ़ो फिर उसको समझो, पढ़ो समझो, like that. So it's ongoing practice. But second chapter, that's where it has everything, and that's what they say, that some of our gurus say that each shlok of the second chapter, it is attached to a entire chapter further, future chapters or the forward आगे वाले जो अध्याय हैं, each shlok में attached to some expansion of that shlok is a chapter by itself. It's like that. So जैसे हम आगे जाएंगे तो we'll see those things. But it's a wonderful feeling to complete the second chapter, and then in fact the reflection on the teaching of second chapter, it's a graphic feeling. We should, I mean, it's a the ladder, we saw that, right? There is a Bhagwan in the second chapter, there is a ladder of fall, but at the same time he has defined the ladder of climbing also. It's very easy. So our goal is that ladder of climbing, not ladder of fall. So last time we finished Shlok 69, just recap, and then we go to the 70, 71, 72. They go together, and that will be the culmination of the chapter. But in last this Shlok, Bhagwan is defining, he started defining the glory of Sthipragya, which Arjun's question was there. So again, Sthipragya, let's just revise. Sthipragya is a person who has three things, who has Purnatvam, completeness, and that means Atmana, Atmani, Atmanya, Atmanatushta. He is satisfied within himself, by himself. So no outside help is needed, and we'll see at the culmination. The second quality of this, Samatvam, equanimity. Dukkheshu and Sukheshu, Vigataspраha. This person has no likes and dislikes. He's balanced, viewpoints. That is Samatvam. And third thing is Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha. This person has transcended those emotions of rag and attachment and detachment, and even the fear and anger. These are all negative emotions, basically. So he or she has transcended that. So Purnatvam, Samatvam, and Virag. These three things is in nutshell is a Sthitta-Pragya. And those shlok define that. And then second chapter, if we just recap, the first part of the second chapter where Arjun, we saw first chapter, Arjun Vishad Yoga, Arjun was in depression and despondency. And so in the first, Bhagwan is not speaking at all in the first chapter, listening to Arjun. The second chapter was Arjun kept saying, when Bhagwan was listening, then Arjun realized that, or Arjun can realize that means we all can realize that. And he said, if I had to get the answer from Bhagwan, Bhagwan is listening to him, he is giving all the logic, right? Then I had to do, so he must have reminded his childhood teaching something that I had to surrender, go as a shishya. So the first part of that is Samarpana Yoga. We can say that, where Arjun says the famous shlok, which is prarthana for me every day. And I tell a lot of people that that's everyday prarthana. Karpanya dosho upahat sabhava prachavitvam dharma sammura chetah yat shreyasyat nishchitam bruhitan me shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. And if we really see this prarthana and say that, with that feeling that I am sitting in place of Arjuna and right Krishna is sitting as a Sarthi, there is some kind of enlightenment from within, some upliftment from within. Because I'm surrendering to Bhagwan. So that's what Arjuna did. So that is Samarpan Yoga, the first part. When Bhagwan heard this, Bhagwan says, okay, I'll tell you something which is required for any further action. And that's what we'll see when we go to third chapter onwards. Very interesting part, third onward. So Bhagwan gave him the Gyan. So which was in Vedantic term, it is called Sankhya. But from Shlok 11 to almost 30, he gave the Gyan. And basically this is Atma Gyan. So what is Atma Gyan? In very simple terms, मैंने अपने हमारी क्लास में जो बच्चों को याद करा दिया. Anytime I ask them, what is Atma Gyan? Who are we? See, uncle, we are not this body, we are Atma. I mean, उनको वो एकदम से बोल देते हैं. And I know now by saying this, I know that for them it is right now a statement, but I'm 100% as they grow, this question will come to their mind again and again. Ki, I am that Atma. Who's that Atma? Jis din, and that's what our Shastra says, Guru says, the day you have the desire to know what is Atma, the journey starts. Avenues are already there. Nothing we have to discover and nothing we have to find out, like invent. We have to just discover, which is already there. So it's like that. That's the Gyan. 11 to that we are not this Dehi. Dehi means the body. We are Atma. That's the Gyan. That's it. But usko hum logon ne phir dekha detail mein 30 shlok, but 18 shlok. But that's was Sankhya or Gyan. Then from 30 to around 40, 45, Bhagwan is talking about the Buddhi Yoga, which is Karma Yoga. The basics or essentials of Karma Yoga. There will be chapters going 3, 4, 5, we talk about detail. But those are the essentials of Karma Yoga, which is Bhagwan has titled it Buddhi Yoga. And the reason he said Buddhi Yoga because Karma originates in Buddhi. If there's no Buddhi, there's no Karma. Absolutely, there's no Karma. At the same time, jab third chapter mein hum dekhenge, we don't want to discuss that now. At the same time, what type of karma, that will be again decided by the type of buddhi. So that's why Bhagavan says Buddhi Yoga is Karma Yoga, which is, we can say, Nishkam Karma Yoga. That detail we'll talk about. And the last part was Sthitta-Pragya Darshan or Sthitta-Pragya Lakshanani people. There are various names the Acharyas give, but Arjun's question was that, yeah, that now you have told me what is a Karma Yogi, Buddhi Yogi, what is a Jnani, and now I am your Shishya. But can you give me a role model? Can you define, can you give me a blueprint? जैसे हम लोग कहीं जाते हैं, okay, show me the model house. I want to buy the house in your colony. Do you have a model house? And they say, okay, come, here is a model house. And then model house exactly represent what you want. So Arjun says कि वो कौन है ये स्थित प्रज्ञस्य का भाषा समाधिस्तस्य केशव? What is the definition of that person? And then Bhagavan started. We saw that from Shlok number 54 up to 72. Bhagavan has defined Sthit Pragya's characteristics, Lakshan, and how to become Sthit Pragya. That sadhan also he's telling in the middle. Because Bhagavan is a teacher, he's not like a tutor. That aap jaake, hum log jo, it's like a paid tutor. Bhagavan is a teacher, acharya, who wants to make sure that your doubts are removed. And that is one of the goals. In India, there is a poet called Gopal Das Neeraj, जिन्होंने बड़े अच्छे गाने लिखे हैं हिंदी फिल्मों के भी, ओ मेरी शर्मिली और कारवां गुजर गया गुब्बारा देखते रहे, इस तरह के बड़े बढ़िया गाने गोपाल दास नीरज ने लिखे हैं। बॉलीवुड के अच्छे राइटर थे, तो वो कवि थे बेसिकली। तो उन्होंने फिर बॉलीवुड छोड़ भी दिया था बिकॉज ही एंजॉयड कविता। तो ही यूज्ड टू से टू यंगर, एक बार किसी यंगर पोएट ने उनको पूछा कि मैं भी कवि हूँ, आई गो टू स्टेज and say the poem. So what should be the standard of for a kavi? कि क्या कवि की क्वालिटी होनी चाहिए? बहुत अच्छी बात बोली थी, which applies to lot of teaching. It's not just कविता. गोपाल दास नीरज तो he was a philosopher. He said कि कवि की एक जिम्मेदारी है, एंड इसीलिए हमारे यहाँ शास्त्र में कवि शब्द ऋषि के लिए भी यूज हुआ है। कवयो वदंती ऐसा कई जगह आता है। कवि मीन्स द हु कैन सी थिंग्स। सो गोपाल दास नीरज सेड द कवि वो है कि जब जो ऑडियंस आती है कवि को सुनने, तो जब ऑडियंस घर जाए तो उसका सोचने का और भाषा का स्तर बढ़ा हुआ होना चाहिए। इफ दैट इज नॉट हैपनिंग देन यू आर नॉट अ कवि, बिकॉज दैट्स व्हाई दे आर हियर टू लिसन टू यू। सो देयर स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ द लैंग्वेज and in the standard of the comprehension of the thoughts, kavi is just giving the thought, should be elevated, then only you are a kavi. Otherwise you are just sitting there and saying something which meaningless. So similarly Bhagwan is that's what acharyas should be, right? That's what Bhagwan is saying. Unne bata to diya, but in the middle he tells a sadhan also, and we saw those sadhan. We can just revisit that. Typically one was there where he says ध्यायतो विषयान पुंसः संगस्तेषु भुजायते संगा संजायते. If you keep meditating on the sense objects, they'll attach you. And then he says, that all can go away by param drishta nivartate. The only way, because now your senses are focused on the worldly object, because by nature, you are a human being and we are made of nature. We are made of the same objects which world is made, and so we are attracted. The only thing you have to shift your attention toward param drashta, which is a higher goal or Bhagwan or whatever we call it, darshan or philosophy or adhyatma. So that's what he said, right? Param drashta nivartate. That's possible. And then he continues. So in last portion, Bhagwan is telling those qualities of Pragya, which is kind of the mature level. In the beginning, he said few qualities, but here it is like ISO 2000, highest level of quality product. So we'll see, we last time finished 69, we'll read 69 again and then go to 71 to 70 to 72. So that ends chapter 2. So again, it is a culmination of characteristics of a Sthit Pragya. Sthit Pragya is again a wise person. Very simple definition, if you see, the person who has the knowledge available when needed. That's wisdom. Simple as that. Everybody knows, right? But when it is needed, that knowledge is with me, that's called wisdom. Otherwise, it is all ज्ञान. ज्ञान और बुद्धि जब साथ मिलकर काम करते हैं तो प्रज्ञा बनती है. And that's what Bhagavan says, स्थित प्रज्ञा. And that knowledge is always established all the time. हमको कभी-कभी आता है, कभी-कभी चला भी जाता है. But when it is available all the time, it is established. When this knowledge, this buddhi is always available, you are a Sthit Pragya. And the why Bhagavan is telling Arjun, because Arjun has to yet to finish the war. युद्ध खत्म नहीं हुआ, अभी कर्म पे तो भगवान आए ही नहीं, आगे जाके आएंगे. So that's what he is saying. This knowledge, second chapter का, should be with you all the time going forward. युद्ध भी करना है, बाकी सब भी काम करना है. That's the reason probably he has told ज्ञान before कर्म. We'll see that next time. So we'll repeat 69 and then go back to 70, 71, 72. So 69 of second chapter, which is Bhagavan is defining the glory of or the characteristics of Stitha-Pragya. Ya Nisha Sarvabhutanam. Yeah.
Ya Nisha Sarvabhutanam.
Tasyam Jagrati Sanyami.
Tasyam Jagrati Sanyami.
Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani.
Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani.
Sa Nisha Pashyato Mune.
Sa Nisha Pashyato Mune. और हे अर्जुन, संपूर्ण भूत प्राणियों के लिए जो रात्रि है, उस नित्य शुद्ध बोध स्वरूप परमानंद में भगवत को प्राप्त हुए योगी पुरुष जागता है, और जिस नाशवान क्षणभंगुर सांसारिक सुख में सब भूत प्राणी जागते हैं, तत्व को जानने वाले मुनि के लिए वह रात्रि है.
That which is night to all beings, therein the self-controlled one keeps awake. That in which beings are awake is night to the sage who sees.
Yeah, and then if you read the description given by various people, the commentaries, typically we talk about, like, in simple terms, they say that this jnani, Stitha-Pragya, sees sansar is impermanent. All the worldly objects in world, even including our body, a title, everything is impermanent. But for a jnani, these things are permanent. And that's the reason that attachment. But for a jnani, all these things are impermanent. That's a description. But that's at the we can say that devotional level or adhyatmic level, or maybe physiological level also, that ye jagta hai, baki log sote hain, that's it. But there is another side of that, is the psychological. So what Bhagavan is saying, pashyato, there is a word used, pashyam is to see, awareness. So there is a difference here between consciousness and awareness. I mean, and this subject is close to me, so my analysis of this shlok is little, I mean, I love that analysis, right? So the difference between consciousness and awareness is that consciousness is always about some object. I'm conscious of the weather, I'm conscious of my body, I'm conscious of somebody, I'm conscious of the situation. But there is related to, so there is a subject and there is an object. Object is something and subject is aware of object. But where Bhagavan is, that is still a sansari. But Bhagavan is saying, Ya Nisha Sanyami, or the Muni. Muni is aware. Aware means you're Sakshi. There's no object for you separate. Everything is just one. But you're aware of everything. But you're not like, when I'm conscious of object, there is a relationship between me and object. Oh, I don't like this object, or I like this object. Still, but when you are aware, you are a jnani. You're not part of it, but you're still aware there is an object. So that's why the example they give, that jnani को ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि क्या फर्क पड़ता है, किसी की डेथ हो गई है, किसी का नुकसान हो गया. No, but jnani is just aware of the loss gain, but jnani doesn't get impacted or not part of the loss. And that's why we call it witness. English of the witness, sakshi ka. Witness is not part of the incident. इसलिए हम लोग witness भी court में जाते हैं, we call the witness who is not the party to, if suppose accident happens. He is just aware. So that's what Bhagavan is saying, कि ये पूरा conscious है. Even in the sleep, this person is conscious. तो 6th chapter में जाएंगे, there is a shlok. युक्ताहार विहारस्य युक्त चेष्टस्य कर्मसु, उसमें एक लास्ट में आता है युक्त बोधस्य स्वप्न और बोधस्य. सी स्वप्न में भी जो कॉन्शियस है वो योगी है. सो मीन्स हम लोग तो जब सो जाते हैं तो वी विल ड्रीम व्हाटएवर वी आर डूइंग इन द वर्ल्ड, बट दिस पर्सन इज कॉन्शियस दैट आई एम जस्ट दैट आत्मा, राइट? So that level, so Bhagavan is talking about that. So awareness and consciousness is different. So this person is aware, which is pragyavan, or abhigya. There is a word abhigya for awareness. And consciousness is chetan. I am conscious. But so there's a difference. So Bhagavan is talking about the person who's aware, who's pragya, who's abhigya, not just conscious. And that witness, not part of it. So that's the difference. That's what. So the first person who's conscious is sadhak. Sansari is still a sadhak. We are all sansari, but we are sadhak. We are practicing. जो सिद्ध होता है, जो who has reached, accomplished, that's a person Bhagwan is talking about. That is Muni. That is Sanyami. And that's the goal also. That's what Bhagwan telling Arjuna. So there is a Purana ek Gana hai ki this person is not involved. Talat Mahmud ka hai. दुनिया में हूं, दुनिया का तलबगार नहीं हूं, गुजरा हूं बाजार से खरीदार नहीं हूं, हर चंद हूं होश में मगर होशियार नहीं. That means I live in the world, but I don't have anything to take from the world, or anything. World cannot give me anything. Atmannev atmanatushta. बाजार से गुजरा हूं, I'm in the market, but nothing I want to buy. If need, I have that, but nothing खरीदार नहीं. Means I'm not here to buy things. I'm not here to this thing is needed, this thing is not needed. Or har chand hu hosh mein. Every moment I am aware, every moment. But होशियार नहीं. But I am not the declared कि वो मेरे को सब पता है. The moment I say मुझे सब पता है, that awareness is gone. So he's saying कि हर चंद हूँ होश में पर होशियार नहीं. So that's a wonderful line by Purana Gana. So this is this person. So with that, we'll segue to the next quality of this person. Shlok number 70. Apurimanam achal pratishtham.
Apurimanam achala pratishtham.
Samudramapah pravishanti yadvat.
Samudramapa pravishanti yadvat.
Tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve.
Tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve.
Sashantimapnoti na kamakami.
सशांतिमाप्नोति न कामकामी. और जैसे सब ओर से परिपूर्ण अचल प्रतिष्ठा वाले समुद्र के प्रति नाना नदियों के जल उसको चलायमान न करते हुए ही समा जाते हैं, वैसे ही जिस स्थिर बुद्धि पुरुष के प्रति संपूर्ण भोग किसी प्रकार का विकार उत्पन्न किए बिना ही समा जाते हैं, वह पुरुष परम शांति को प्राप्त होता है, न कि भोगों को चाहने वाला.
As the waters enter the ocean, which filled from all sides remain undisturbed, likewise, he in whom all objects of enjoyment enter attains peace, not the desirer of objects.
So again, Bhagwan is saying the same. Now it's a metaphor or simile, where he's comparing this person's quality or nature with an ocean. And the example Bhagwan given ocean is all the rivers flow into the ocean. Every country has the same thing. Here, like Hudson and all these rivers, Mississippi going into the Atlantic Ocean. But ocean is full before rivers enter into it, or even don't enter, the ocean is full. And ocean is independent of river. Ocean's existence is not because of river. In fact, rivers are created from ocean. We know that eco-cycle. There is evaporation and then it becomes cloud and river. So it comes back to. So they are generated from ocean and come. So ocean is not dependent on river. But ocean at the same time completely full. Apurimanam. So the word pur means, इससे हम लोग हिंदी का भी शब्द पूर आता है, संस्कृत में पूर है. पूर means full. और आ means like giving an emphasis. They completely full. Apurimanam, completely full. Achala pratishtham. At the same time, not disturbed. I mean, we know that the waves on the ocean we see at the top, but the serenity of the ocean, the depth of the ocean is where the wealth is, where the strength of ocean is. So inside ocean is achala pratishtham, is a quiet. Even the rivers are entering, inside ocean is quiet. So that is the quality of this person. Now Bhagavan is comparing. The reason is that first is, as he said, Atmannevatmanatushtam. This person is complete by himself. And another example given in one of the shlok, that if you are thirsty, then you look for water, right? Even a half glass of water you will strive for. But if you are not thirsty, you are full, then even the whole big pond comes in front of you. You don't care, because you are no more thirsty. So that water, the example is given in one of the shlok, in the second chapter itself. So here Bhagavan is, so that's why this person is already full. So even all these worldly things will come to this person because you are involved, but they don't, you are independent of those. Your existence, your purnata, your fulfillment is independent of these things. And same time, achala pratishtha. Achal means not moving, steady composure. And this is a very simple, already the example was given that वो हमारे स्वामी जी कोई पूछता था कि क्रोध आता है, तो पूछते थे कि क्रोध कहाँ से आता है? पता नहीं स्वामी जी, आता है तो कोई सामने से लाके देता है आपको, जो आता है आपको क्रोध दिलाता है, वो कोई आपको पॉकेट में देता है या आपको हैंड ओवर करता है? नहीं नहीं, तो कहाँ से आता है? तो वो आदमी सोचने लगता था, तो मेरे अंदर से ही आता है। हाँ, तो डिस्टर्बेंस आपके अंदर ही है, तो आपके अंदर से ही निकल के आता है. So that's what this person is not disturbed from inside. The whole concept what we have is that somebody else is disturbing me. That we have been raised like that. बाहर की चीजें मुझे परेशान करती हैं, and our psyche is like that. But this person, nothing disturbs me from outside. Whatever is happening outside is just outside. So that is achal pratishtham, is not disturbed, like the ocean doesn't. So that example Bhagavan is given because that is the quality of Sthitta-Pragya. So apuremanam achal pratishtham. There are various examples. The Janak, एक बड़ी famous story है जनक की के. Janak was like this, Sthitta-Pragya. तो उनके पास लोग सीखने जाते थे. Somebody went to him कि भाई मैंने सुना है कि you are a king, but you are still a Sthitta-Pragya. तो मैं देखना चाहता हूँ कि what is that difference? मैं भी Sthitta-Pragya हूँ, मैं साधु हूँ, right? मेरे पास कुछ भी नहीं है और आपके पास ये सब है, but that said then what is this Sthitta-Pragya? मतलब मुझे somebody said कि I have to learn from you. He said okay. जनक जी बोले okay, let's go for a walk. And they went for a walk, and the sadhu came with a small bag, and Janak ji said, leave your bag here in my palace and let's go for a walk. And they went for a walk, and they were sitting near the ocean, and somebody came running and said, Rajaji, there is a fire in the palace. The palace is on fire. So जनक जी बैठे दोनों बात कर रहे थे, कुछ चर्चा, तो उस साधु जी एकदम से डिस्टर्ब हुए, दौड़ने लगे, कहाँ जा रहे हैं आप? तो उन्होंने कहा बैठी बैठी चर्चा करते हैं. अरे बोले नहीं मैं जा रहा हूँ, मेरा बैग वहां पर है. देन जनक बोले कि मेरा तो महल जल रहा है. देन ही रियलाइज कि ओ मैं तो अपने बैग के लिए दौड़ रहा था, इनका तो महल जल रहा है. ही सेड कि so anyway, that is the story. He told someone to come, and then so that message was there कि इतनी सी चीज के लिए हम डिस्टर्ब हो जाते हैं. So this person is not disturbed. Anything can happen because everything is outside. Inside there is no disturbance. Then there is no disturbance outside also. In fact, these are the stories. But my Nanaji, who was our Guruji also, one time I remember he was coming from Ujjain to Bhopal, and there was a train junction where you had to change the train something. So he got out at the junction, sitting outside. वो ध्यान में अपने बैठ गए, तो उनके पास there was a bag, झोला था और कुछ कमंडल पानी का होता था, some things. जब उन्होंने आँख खोली, देखा वो सब सामान चला गया था. Then he took the train, somebody, और वो आ गए. तो जब वो आए तो first time, I was kid that time, अभी 10-12 साल कुछ होगा. तो we asked him, Swami ji, you empty handle. Normally you used to have a bag and little bit. तो इतना हंस के बोले कि वो था पर किसी को जरूरत थी तो वो ले गया. And that time we didn't understand what do you mean by किसी को जरूरत थी तो वो ले गया. Then किसी ने समझाया कि कोई चोर ले गया. लेकिन his answer was किसी को जरूरत थी तो वो ले गया. This is practically I have seen that many times he used to say that, and that is called achala pratishtham. अंदर से कुछ डिस्टर्ब नहीं होता, ऐसा बाहर है. So भगवान and सशांतिम आपनोति न कामति. ऐसा व्यक्ति शांति को प्राप्त होता है. आपनोति means you reach that shanti. न कामकामी. The कामकामी means who's desirer, who desire things like most of us. So भगवान is saying that person is Sthitta-Pragya. Now he is अर्जुन के प्रश्नों का उत्तर दे रहे हैं कि स्थित-प्रज्ञ कौन है. So he is glorifying that person. This is the quality of स्थित-प्रज्ञ. अचल अपूर्यमाणम, fulfill है, and nothing disturbs him. कोई चीज आती है जाती है. So that person deserves the shanti, and that is स्थित-प्रज्ञ. So with that we'll go to 71 shloka. विहाय कामान्य सर्वान्
विहाय कामान्यः सर्वान्
पुमांश्चरति निस्पृहः
पुमांश्चरिति निःस्पृहः
निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः
निर्ममो निरहंकारः
स शान्तिम् अधिगच्छति।
स शांतिमधिगच्छति। क्योंकि जो पुरुष संपूर्ण कामनाओं को त्याग कर ममता रहित और अहंकार रहित स्पृहा रहित हुआ वर्तता है, वह शांति को प्राप्त होता है।
That man who abandons all desires and moves about without yearning, without the sense of I and mine, he attains peace.
Yeah, so this is a very, very powerful श्लोक, very, very powerful. एक शब्द इसका अद्भुत है. So Bhagavan is saying we have to just see few words here. Kamana. Kamanya means kamana. Kamana means the desire of something which I don't have. Simple as that. Kamana, I want something which I don't have. That is kamana, right? And then he says the next word is spraha. Spraha means kind of simple terms. I want to have something, craving, right? Because now I don't have, that is a kamana. And kamana ke baad spraha aati, because I want to have that. That's a craving or kind of a dependency on things. Spraha. And then there is another word, nirmama. Mama means mine, nirmama means not mine, but mine is our weakness, right? So when nirmama means the mineness is not there, that is the strength. Mine is a weakness. And then nirahankara, ahankar, another. Ahankar is, we all know that. Ahankar means, the simple terms, ahankar means body identification. As long as I am identifying with my body or body related things, there is an ego. Meri car, my house, my name, my title, my possessions, and that my is ahankar. So now kamana, spraha, kamana means something I want, spraha means craving for that, the passion to have that, the longing, and mamata means mine, and ahankar is me. When they go together, right? Mamakar and ahankar, they go together. So Bhagavan is saying कि ये कामना रहित, vihaya means without. So without kamana, nispraha, he doesn't have that longing for that. Nirmama, he doesn't have that mind thing. And nirankara, the I is missing. So when this person has given up these notions, then he says charati. Charati means, again, Bhagavan is who is saying? Bhagavan Krishna, who is a grahastha. Now I always, whenever read this book, Gita is a grahastha लोगों के शास्त्र. अभी सन्यासी जो होते हैं, जो महात्मा लोग, उनको तो वैसे भी कुछ नहीं करना है आपको संसार में. लेकिन गृहस्थ को ही चरती मीन्स नेविगेटिंग, सिंपल टर्म, डे टू डे लाइफ में, दैट इज चरती. तो ये सब करता है, he or she is charati, but because he doesn't have all these four things, kamna, spraha, mamakar or ahankar, this person shanti madhigacchati. Shanti, again, the goal is to have that shanti. So this person deserves, and this is a Stitha-Pragya. So these are the qualities of Stitha-Pragya, kam, vihaya, and it is again abhyas, and gyan. There is no other way. So Bhagavan is saying कि मैं शरीर में नहीं हूँ. All those teachings we have seen in the second chapter, the Dehi whole thing. And there is a 13th chapter Bhagavan is going to talk about Kshetra, the same thing. So that अब ये now we think कि ये सब करेंगे तो शांति होगी. But शास्त्र बोलते हैं, हमारे भगवान भी बोलते हैं गीता में कि शांति तो ऑलरेडी थी. You are a शांति स्वरूप. You are that, your आत्मा और आत्मी शांति स्वरूप. Because you have accumulated these things, kamna, spraha, mamata, ahankar, you miss the shanti. Just remove them and you are shanta. So it is the discovery. It is not an invention. You कुछ बनाना कुछ नहीं है, सब पहले से था, आपको just discover करना है. You are shanti yourself. So एक बार some शिष्य asked Guruji कि how this is, like how do I see that these things, right? तो बड़ा अच्छा एग्जाम्पल उन्होंने दिया था कि if you are sitting in your living room or family room and there is a big window and outside there is a garden or some beautiful backyard, and you see that garden beautiful, like flowers and all the trees, Are they inside or outside? They are outside. But you feel like that you're seeing them. So as long as, but they are still outside, right? They're not inside you. You're enjoying them from outside. He said, similar we should do with all these worldly objects. यही जो काम हम, I understand, yeah, they're outside, right? But I still am enjoying them. बस यही भगवान विहाय कामा. वो जो साक्षी है, सब देखता है, लेकिन ऐसा देखता है जैसे खिड़की में से दृश्य देख रहा हूँ. क्या बढ़िया एग्जाम्पल जिन्होंने भी दिया. इतना ही करना है बस कि सबको देखना है, लेकिन मैं अंदर बैठा हूँ, ये सब बाहर है. Still you're enjoying, but they're still out, they're outside. And that's what भगवान is saying. ये सब चारों पांचों चीजें बाहर छोड़ दो, तो शांति तो अंदर है ही सही ऑलरेडी. लेकिन अब वो सब, if you bring the tree and everything inside you, you cannot survive, right? They cannot be in your mind because you're just enjoying them. So that's what भगवान is saying. So this is the quality of. And then we reach to the last shlok, which is the pinnacle of all this teaching, right? एषा ब्राह्मे स्थिति पार्थ
एषा ब्राह्मे स्थितिर्पार्थ
नयनां प्राप्य विमुह्यति
नैनां प्राप्य विमुह्यति
स्थित्वा अस्याम् अंतकालेऽपि
स्थित्वा स्यामन्तकालेऽपि
ब्रह्म निर्वाणमृच्छति.
ब्रह्म निर्वाणमृच्छति. हे अर्जुन, यह ब्रह्म को प्राप्त हुए पुरुष की स्थिति है. इसको प्राप्त होकर मोहित नहीं होता है और अंतकाल में भी इस निष्ठा में स्थित होकर ब्रह्मानंद को प्राप्त हो जाता है.
क्या बात है, क्या बात.
This is the state of Brahma, O Partha. Attaining this, none is deluded. Being established therein, even at the end of life, one attains oneness with Brahma.
Right. So now Bhagavan is saying Brahmi-Stithi. So Brahmi-Stithi means nothing but Sthitë-Pragya. That's why he is defining. So Sthitë-Pragya ki last stage jo Bhagavan is Brahmi-Stithi. So Brahmi-Stithi means established in that particular state, and Brahmi means again Sthitë-Pragya or Shanti or Ananda, various names, but we can say who is free from the bondage. Basically, the bondage is a problem. If there is no bondage, then you are free. So this person is free from the bondage. That is Sthitë-Pragya. A bondage means what? Again, body identified things bind me. Mera sharir, mera ghar. Again, repeatedly Bhagavan Gita says, our Shastra says that. But once that bondage is gone, I realize that, yeah, it's like that. I am in the world, but I am not of the world. Very powerful statement. I mean, if you have to just think, I am in the world, but I am not of the world. The problem is that if I think I am of the world, then I am part of the world. Then फिर सब समस्या शुरू हो जाती है. I am still in the world. जैसे वो विवेकानंद जी एग्जाम्पल दे देते कि नाव पानी में रहनी चाहिए, लेकिन पानी नाव में नहीं रहना चाहिए. It's a very simple statement, but it's very powerful. That's it. Then you can travel. The problem है कि पानी अगर नाव में आ गया तो डूबना ही है, और हम सब वही करते हैं कि वो पानी हमारे अंदर जाता है तो हम डूब जाते हैं. So as long as नाव पानी में है, नाव can sail through, right? But the पानी अगर नाव में आ गया, then it will drown. So same thing Bhagavan is saying, ये जो स्थिति है, ब्राह्मी स्थिति means you are floating on the water, but not water is on you, or you are in the world, no, you are not of the world. So that is Brahmi-Stithi. Again, there are many ways people have defined, if you read this. So again, the last time we saw that this person, Brahmi-Stithi means you are not on the platform, or you are not on the playground of material pursuits, in very simple terms. As long as you are playing, as long as you are performing on a platform or on a playground where the material pursuits are not your goal, you are in Brahmi-Stithi. You are still playing, you are still enjoying. कृष्ण रास भी करते हैं, कृष्ण गाय भी चराते हैं, कृष्ण युद्ध भी करते हैं, कृष्ण हरण भी करते हैं, लेकिन फिर भी कृष्ण कृष्ण है, क्योंकि कृष्ण is not doing all these for material pursuits. He is doing all this for spiritual pursuits. So only we have to switch that. We all can do that. The switch is just from material to spiritual. Then we are in Brahmi-Stithi. And this person, ये जो स्थित-प्रज्ञ, ये इस स्थिति में आ गया है. So we, again, same thing. We are all in Brahmi-Stithi. The only problem is we have accumulated all these things like kama, kam, spraha, ahankar. So we are not in Brahmi-Stithi, we think. We don't have to do anything. So this is the end of almost this chapters. Bhagavan has defined, and what he's saying, if this Brahmi-Stithi can be there, antakale api. Means even if you are, he's saying, and you are dying, that time ज्यादातर ये होता है कि मरते समय ऐसा कहते हैं डॉक्टर लोग तो सब experiment. There is a whole research on that, and I was reading a paper that typically the nurses were interviewed. What happened when person was dying, and the statement written by nurses, and majority of the time they were remembering something पुराना, कि मेरा property होगी या किसी बच्चे का होगा, and that's what they thought that dying person what they do. There is a whole paper on that. Interesting, right? But I read, so I thought that majority time people are thinking of the world, संसार. हमारे शास्त्र कहते हैं कि जैसा सोच के जाओगे वैसे ही बन के आओगे. So आखिरी टाइम में जो सोचोगे वैसे नेक्स्ट बर्थ आएगी, जो भी है. तो लेकिन सोते जाते समय भगवान याद आते हैं? नहीं आते, क्योंकि सारी जिंदगी जो किया वो याद आने वाला है. एंड दिस इज अ फैक्ट, इट्स अ साइंस, राइट? एंड इट इज, द स्टडीज आर डन. लेकिन ये ब्राह्मी स्थिति वाला पर्सन है, क्योंकि अगेन दिस पर्सन इज always aware, as we said, right? Not conscious, always aware. Aware of what? That मैं ये देह नहीं आत्मा हूँ, या ब्रह्म, either I say तत्वमसि or aham brahmasmi, doesn't matter. Is one end or other end, but it is the same thing. So constantly I have that thought that I am that, the तत्वमसि. And that thought, Bhagavan says कि ये स्थिति अगर आ गई तो at the end of the life also you will remember this. But this is the end of the physical life, the physiological life. But there is a psychological part of it, which is really different, which I like. Psychology sometimes is better than sometimes physiology, because physiology has a limitation of body. Psychology is beyond body. It is. So psychologically, if you think that there are a number of deaths, and it is said like every day the cells are dying and new cells are being created. Thoughts are coming and dying. Emotions are coming and dying. But after every emotion, I am disturbed, because that emotion is related to something outside the world or me. But if at the end of emotion, if you are not unhappy, you are still same, stable, Sthit-Pragya. So that's what Bhagavan is saying. At the end of every emotion हमारे, like emotion, every incident or every experience becomes an emotion. So at the end of every emotion, if you are undisturbed, you are a Sthit-Pragya. भगवान ऐसा ब्राह्मी स्थिति पार्थ नयनाम प्राप्त विमुक्ति ब्रह्म निर्वाण गच्छति. So Bhagavan was nirvana, and nirvana means it is used in all like Buddhist Jain tradition. Everywhere nirvana shabd is used. Nirvana का मतलब होता है there is no transaction, there is no वाणिज्य. वाणिज्य means transaction, commercial. Nirvana means there is no transaction. It is an English translation, they do extinguish, or it is the blown off or put off. जैसे दिया बुझ जाता है तो निर्वाण कहते हैं. But that's a very crude, I feel that's not a, I mean, it's a good translation, but scholars have done, so I don't want to say that they are wrong. But the better translation is there is no, better translation is there is no transaction, nirvana. And transaction means, again, transaction from with the outside world comes inside me. It's a transaction. When I deposit money goes to my bank account. When I take these outside things into my mind, it's a transaction. Then they go out from my mind, I'm disturbed. It's a transaction. There's no transaction. Nothing is coming in, nothing is going out. And that is nirvana. And that's what Bhagavan is saying. Brahma nirvana vrichati. ये स्थित प्रज्ञ है, ये निर्वाण में रहता हमेशा. Nirvana is not last, like death. This is a translation, but it's okay. It's fine. I mean, it's called it. But there's no death. मैं मरने की चिंता नहीं करता, मैं तो आज जीने की चिंता करता हूँ. Every moment I have to be in the nirvana. And Bhagavan is promising Arjun, this person is in Brahma Nirvana Every moment it can be. And that's what the culmination of that Stitha-Pragya is. So ये शुरू कहाँ से हुआ था? We have to go back to the same shlok which I always say is a prayer, right? Arjun asked, यत श्रेयस्यात् निश्चितम ब्रूहि तन्मे, मुझे वो बताइए जो मेरे लिए श्रेय है, श्रेष्ठ है. उसका उत्तर है श्रेष्ठ एक ही चीज है, ब्राह्मी स्थिति. Always in that state of mind which is not bound by anything outside, no transaction undisturbed, right? So Arjun's question was that. So Bhagavan says, this is, now look at that 7th shlok, he asked कि मेरे लिए श्रेय क्या है, and 72nd shlok Bhagavan is saying Brahmi Stithi is the Shresht. And how do we reach from like Shreyas, which is Ashresht? Arjun was disturbed, means Ashresht. That's why he said Dharma Sammula Cheta means Ashresht, Ashreya or Ashresht, to Shresht. The whole journey, how do we do the journey? In between, Bhagavan says, Indriya Nigrah and Mano Nigrah. The only way you can complete this journey from Ashresht to Shresht is sense control or mind control, both together. It's nothing, basically the control. And that needs abhyas. So keep doing it. So Ashresht to Shresht ki journey is the yatra. And the sadhana is, again, Mano Nigrah. And there are various ways. Meditation, what we do is part of that, right? Which Arjun will ask in the last, like, 6th chapter, and Bhagavan will explain, right? So there was one person whose friend went to some place, like where the beautiful, the potteries or the nice, like maybe say, antique artifacts were made. So he said, can you, when you're going there, can you send me I heard that there are very good artifacts made in that place. So can you send one for me? So his friend went there and mailed that. And he said, this is a beautiful vase, beautifully created. But there is one condition. If you want to have this beauty of vase in your house, it has to be put in a corner which is facing east. When the sun comes, then you see the beauty of this vase. Okay. So he got the big vase in the mail. Now this friend who received it, he told his wife, and they discussed that we have to put in that one corner where sun is coming. But that corner, there was a TV. They said, we have to move the TV. So now they put the vase there, move the TV to another corner. They say, no, we have moved the TV in this corner. Now the couch is a problem. So we have to move the couch this, because the couch is moved. Now they cannot see the yard outside. Also, we have to change the yard. So because of one vase, they had to change the entire house. In fact, the yard also was changed because of one vase. So one shresht vichar can change the entire life. And that is the message Bhagavan wants to give. Arjun ने पूछा था कि एक श्रेय क्या है? तो भगवान ने कहा था एक ही चीज श्रेय है, that आत्मज्ञान, कि तू शरीर नहीं है. ये विचार अगर आ गया, the entire life will be changed. Like that story. One thought, एक अच्छा विचार पूरी जिंदगी, ऐसा पुरानी कहावतें हैं, एक विचार can change the entire life. Only that विचार is that I am that आत्मा, I am not this body. And निरहंकार, उसके बहुत सारे डिस्क्रिप्शन भगवान ने दिए कि निर्ममो निरहंकार, वो सब there are breakups which we had, but ultimately is that one good divine thought. And of course, how it will happen? Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat jnanat dhyanam vishishyate. Practice. And अश्रेष्ठ से श्रेष्ठ बनने के लिए एक ही विचार काफी है. So we'll do our meditation, but आदि गुरु शंकराचार्य का एक श्लोक बोलते हैं, then we'll do our meditation. It is from Nirvana Shatkam, na punyam na papam. So there is no transaction, Nirvana. इसकी definition शंकराचार्य की कितनी बढ़िया है. न पुण्यम न पापम, न सौख्यम न दुखम, न मंत्रो न तीर्था, न वेदा न यज्ञ. अहम भोजनम नैव भोज्यम न भोक्ता, चिदानंद रूप शिवोहम शिवो. Aham bhojanam. Bhojanam is experience. Bhojanam means experiencing. Bhojam is the object of experience. Bhokta means the experiencer. So he's saying, neither I am the experience of eating, neither I am the object of eating, nor I am the eater. It's all one. And that is called nirvana. There is no transaction. Whenever these are two, three things, there is a transaction, there is a dvait, there is a duality. Chidananda Rupo Shivo. Chidananda means that awareness we talked about. That Bhagavan says, Pashyato Mune, this person, this Stitha-Pragya, is always in complete Chidanand, means unbroken, uninterrupted peace. Anand, that is me. So that is what with this Bhagavan ends this chapter. And next time when we'll meet, we'll go to third chapter, which is Karma Yoga. But let's do our dhyan. And then that's what our goal is, to reach from same. Dhyan means, Bhagavan says, you have to realize that the yatra is from outside the sense objects or senses to the Atma. And then once that yatra, we have to do number of times. And someday we don't have to even travel, we'll reach that. And of course, living in the world, I'll be at the destination. So let's do our dhyan. Sit straight again. And when we say Om, as I said, we can follow the breathing while saying the Om, because when we say Om, we inhale and exhale. So follow the breath and follow the sound. That itself helps to quieten the mind at the beginning of dhyan. Right? Slow and shallow breath. Now bring the attention to the tip of nostril and think of Prithvi Tat, being image of Prithvi in the mind, which is the grossest manifestation of Bhagavan. Now shift focus to the tip of tongue and bring the image of Jal Tattva, which is water in the mind. Because through tongue we sense or we feel or we perceive the water or Jal or juice. So bring the image of Jal Tattva, Jal in mind, and keep the focus on tip of the tongue. Now shift the attention or focus to the eyes and bring image of Agni Tattva, which is the best is Surya Bhagwan's image. So bring Surya Bhagwan's image and keep the focus on eyes. Now we are moving from gross to subtle. Now shift focus to skin and feel the Vayu Tattva, which is air. And we can feel air when we keep the focus on skin. Vayu is all around us. And Vayu is inside us also. Now shift focus to ears and feel the sound, because sound travels in space. So that tells us that we are in space and space is inside us. All these elements are inside us also. Now this journey is from gross to subtle. And all these senses make us to transact from the outside world. By quietening or by shutting down these senses, we are stopping the transaction. And that reaches to nirvana, no transaction. Now think that I am not these senses, I am not the body, I am not even the mind, not the buddhi behind mind, not even the chit, which is store, memory store, not the ahankar, that identified body. I am that Chidananda Atma or Sakshi Chaitanya Atma. Now Bhagavan says at this stage, bring a Brahma Vichar. As I said, one Vichar can change the entire life. They are saying, not I said, but our Shastra says, our Acharya say that. So he says, do the Brahma Vichar, Bhagavan saying. So Brahma Vichar is best, Brahma Vichar is Gayatri Mantra. Om Bhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Na Prachodayat. That means Bhagavan, in Gayatri Mantra, essence is that my buddhi should be directed towards the best, Shreyas. And Bhagavan says, Yukta Asita Matpara. Be in that state as long as possible. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Holy Krishna Kanhaiya Lal ki. We forgot to say like 3 times when Navratri is going on. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita. Namastaste Namastaste Namo. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Rupena Samstita. Namastaste Namastaste Namo. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Rupena Samstita. Namastaste 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 Namo. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Tushtirupena Samstita. Namastaste 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 Namo Namaha. That means Shakti established in me and all of us in the form of Shakti strength, Lakshmi which is prosperity or Samriddhi, Buddhi which is the intellect, the wisdom, Stitha-Pragya, and lastly Tushti. Tushti means the contentment. Whatever is given to me, it is the best. That is true. So